Welcome to Your Life Story, a space to explore the journey from survival to authenticity. I'm Sajine, and here we dive into the raw truths of breaking free from expectations we've grown up with, rediscovering our voices, and thriving after life's challenges. But this isn't just about my story. It's about life, from relationships and self-discovery to the messy, beautiful questions we all face. No topic is off limits here. So if you're ready to embrace courage, healing, and living life on your own terms, you're in the right place. Let's connect. Let's grow. Welcome to the journey. So I want to welcome all of you to my show today. It's such a pleasure to be able to have you here. And I will be speaking about something that comes every year, and it's important if you have children or even when you were a child, because I'll touch a little bit about how I felt as well. So today is why back to school season hurts more than you realize, especially for cycle breakers. Well, congratulations. If you're here, I consider you a cycle breaker. Why? Because we're trying to figure out what we can do in our lives to be better and to be stronger. And I commend you for that. And if you're still not there, we're all here. This is a supportive community. And I want you to feel safe and loved as well. So back to school season should be joyful. But for many of us, it's a painful reminder of what we never had. A supportive family, a safe home, or someone cheering us on. In this episode, I unpack the grief behind the backpacks, how it affects both parents and survivors of trauma, and offer honest tools to help you break the cycle without breaking yourself. And I do get happy because in my part, I believe children should be rooted on because they're starting a new year. This is a new chapter in their life. They get to learn new things, meet up with old friends or even new friends. And I believe that's important. But I'll discuss with you why some of this hurts me. And I don't think we're alone in this, but we can keep going here. So let's see here. I just finished shopping for school supplies, and instead of feeling proud, I found myself crying in the car. And I'll tell you why. I remembered my son's graduation, and this was graduation for elementary. It was tough. Why? Because I remember being out on that field. I was just rooting, cheering him on. And I remembered when they all ran into the field and they were all super happy. The amount of emotion I saw in his face. He felt so happy and loved and cheered on by everyone. And even to this day, I'll never forget it. But for that one split second, and it truly hurt, he remembered that there was no huge family there to cheer him on. Even though he was happy to see me, he saw the reality of what this individual in his life did. And the sad thing is, this person will never understand that. And so to me, now my other child's going to be going through this milestone, and it comes back. And I'm going to do whatever I have to cheer her on as well. But I know she might think that for a split second too. So I want to keep going and discussing this. I know that we cry because we thought we married somebody who would be there to support us in every milestone that our children would go through, that they would have the love, support, kindness, guidance, mentorship. And when this person decided no more, because I will never forget when they said that they were just pretending, and my face dropped because I was like, what do you mean? And to me, I believe that's fraudulent. I don't believe that these individuals who commit fraud like this should ever get anything in return. But I know we live in this land and we have to deal with it. So the truth, no one talks about. Everyone posts happy photos, but for some of us, back to school is a trigger. Now, I'm not saying it's like 100% trigger, but I know it happens because I will do my happy photos, but those are for me. Unfortunately, when these individuals have their little spies, you don't want that situation to go there because they even take that away from you. Childhood wounds resurface, lack of support, emotional abandonment, or like me, fear of the ex showing up. Why? You don't want to get hurt. You don't want your child to get hurt. You don't want your children embarrassed because most of the time they're just embarrassments. No, nobody needs that. This is the day for your children, and you will do whatever you have to make sure that child feels loved and supported. School can feel like reliving trauma through your kids. And I'm not saying other stuff. What I'm saying is the support that they needed, Who was there? I'm more than enough. Don't get me wrong. But how much more better than if there was a tribe, right? So you're doing the right thing, but it still hurts. I want you to keep going because us cycle breakers will feel the pain, especially if you're very empathetic or highly sensitive. You will feel things to the core, and some people won't understand it, and that's okay. So let's deep dive 4 hidden reasons back to school triggers trauma. Number 1, unprocessed childhood milestones. No one came to your graduation. You had to parent yourself. Now watching your child be celebrated feels bittersweet. I know some people feel that way. I will never get to the point where I believe that they have it better than me. No, I want them to have better than me. Why? Because they deserve it. Now, if I feel a little bit off, it's because I wish I would have had that. But you know what? That's okay, because guess what? I'm cheering myself on. Why? Because I've been learning to run, and I cheer myself on. If I learn a new subject, if I learn a new language, I cheer myself on. Even if I still remember when nobody was there when I was a child. Single parenting while holding it all together. You're the one packing lunches, holding back tears, fighting legal systems alone. It's emotional labor and grief rolled into one. We are strong. We're a community, and we can do this. Number 1 thing, though, is to help your child with their emotions, because I believe you're sending them out there into the world. And that's why I've been reading about emotional intelligence, is not only for me, but for my children, because we still have a lot to go. And there's still a lot of people who are not nice. And we got to learn to navigate it. Fear of the abusers returning. The fear still lives in your body. There's lots of pains, sadness, or even just feeling tired. Just thinking about the school field brings panic. It brought panic to me. I didn't know if this individual would come and try to hurt me in front of everybody. I didn't know if they were there to insult me and embarrass me and my child. I didn't know what it is, a huge field you don't ever know. I mean, technically, this individual one time wouldn't let me go from a sports field, and I had to wait until I was safe to get out. That's not okay. And let me tell you, that will never happen again, because I do not accept people doing that to me or my children. So you question if you're ever truly safe. Well, guess what? I don't think you're ever going to be truly safe. Why? Because the powers that be don't help you. I've heard so many stories, and even in my own experience, you can tell them, but they're not going to believe you, and then they think you're bitter. So if you don't have help there, where do you have help? Right? It's tough, but I want you to keep going. Next one is guilt and grief mixed together. Guilt. Am I giving them enough? Or am I giving them too much? Grief. Why didn't I get what they deserved? But you know what? I've come to the conclusion that as long as they get what they need, that brings me happiness, and it heals me in the things that I've had to go through. If you have a chance, go ahead, and if you feel like if this stuff resonates with you or what on there, it's okay to share in the community. I believe it's important that we help each other out, because I don't think there is that support in the community to help single mothers or even parents when this type of personality comes at you and all they want is to hurt you. And I believe it's time for healing. So what helped me? I had to create healing rituals, not just for my kids, but for me as well. You know, whether it has been doing exercises so I can be stronger and healthier, if it was praying, if it's reading the Bible, if it's reading self-help books. I believe there's so much knowledge out there, or even with all the social media accounts that are out there to advocate for you. I believe it's important to be together. Why? Because nobody has ever said that they would be willing to heal you. I get it. There's a community out there that, yeah, they get paid for healing, and I'm not going to knock them. But you also have to interview them, because not all of them, are trauma informed. And I believe this is a delicate issue, and you need to find somebody, go ahead and interview them and see who is the best one for you if you have the means to do it. If not, there's so many free books out there, instructions, courses that can help you, or people who give courses that are at a reasonable rate that have done the work, but this condenses it to you and helps you out. I know here in the future I will have that out for you, because I believe the things that took me so long, years, compiled together, have now finally set me free. Not all the way, but that's okay. Why? Because we're humans. Every day we're learning to live, and it's important. Today I found out that fear is not always bad. Why? Because sometimes without that, we don't move. We don't advance ourselves. We don't find solutions to the questions or problems that come in our lives. And the only way that we're going to fight that is, I know it's cliche, is to face fear itself. But why not? Because the thing is, I also learned that is when we fear and we don't want to feel that anymore, we go to the extremes to control that in the present, the past, and even the future. and it's exhausting. So it's time to change our minds and see a different perspective of how we're going to do that to help ourselves. So let's see. Back to school is an annual trauma marker. Okay, so what are we going to do? Okay, so we're going to make this a special day. We get the clothing, we get the supplies, and sometimes, yeah, it's hard. We don't have enough money because we don't get the money that we should be getting by others, and that's okay. Guess what? We're going to do everything we can to get them to move forward. We celebrate it. We talk about, what are we going to do for you? What are you going to do? Is there any hobbies, classes, special interests? And start getting them all pumped up so then they can enjoy their life. So you can expect emotional waves and plan for them. So yeah, you will cry. You will feel sad. You will be happy, ecstatic, and everything. You can feel all of it. Excuse me. But I believe you need to organize it and make it a fun environment. So we talked about creating new rituals. Write letters to your inner child on your kid's first day. Why not? We think that everything is, we have to have it all. But sometimes just doing the old-fashioned writing the letters will help you get through things. You can light a candle and say, we're breaking this cycle. You can pray. You can meditate. Why not? Have some time to be there with the loved ones that you're going to say, hey, you're going to make it. Check in on your body. Do breathing exercises when fear returns. I was kind of skeptical about these breathing exercises, the box breathing, until I actually had to do it. And it amazed me how much it helped me relax. Do the somatic grounding when school events feel overwhelming, or anything for that case. It's amazing how it feels when they say, look at different things, taste different things, smell, touch, whatever you have to make yourself feel that you're in the present and that you're safe. And even just telling yourself you are safe helps out so much. So what are we going to do? We may not have had the big cheering sections, but this time we are the love. So the reason why I bring about this, about one part of why I felt this way, is I remember being a child and all I wanted was support for anything. And there was times when there was no interest in what I was learning, what I was doing, if I had friends, and it hurt. And even graduating, it wasn't something that now children get, and I'm glad. I'm not going to say anything bad about it. I believe people need to cheer people more. I know I had a family member that graduated recently. This child is so smart, graduated high school and college. Well, at least, the first 2 years of your classes that you need before you get moving forward. And the amount of love and cheering helped this child. And I'm going to do the same thing for my children because I believe they deserve it. I don't want them ever to feel sad that they were not good enough. I get it. They can be told they're good enough, even without the cheering, without all the parties and everything. But you can't tell me that you don't feel good even when you're at work and they celebrate you. Or you receive that raise or promotion because you legitimately worked on it and actually made it through. Those things help your morale, your strength. You keep moving forward. And I believe children deserve that as well. And I believe that if you see other children who are alone and are feeling this way, we should encourage them and root them on, because you'll never know if you made a difference in that child's life because they didn't have that opportunity. So you are raising children in a very toxic zone of memories, and still you rise. Keep going. I tell myself every day, yes, it hurts, it's sad, but guess what? You're changing things. It's time to bring your game on and let's help them out. So I want to say, I know you're doing sacred work. You didn't fail. You inherited pain and chose to transform it. I want you to keep moving forward. Start making plans for your children's graduations. Help them out. Be that mentor that you never had and wanted. I think it's important that we help children. You know, a lot of people are like, no, they need to figure it out because I had to figure it out. You can't give everything to them on a plate because then they're not going to know how to appreciate it. You know what? I don't think that's true. Why are you willing to train people at your work and even be extra kind and supportive for the longest time? So, and then that, sometimes those people don't even appreciate it and even will throw you under the bus. So why not do it for your children who are there for you, that love you unconditionally? I believe it's important that you do that as well. So to me, I had to tell myself, okay, yeah, I know it's sad, very sad, that I didn't get the opportunity to feel that. I know I get angry because that's another emotion that you get. You get angry because you know your children deserved 1,000,000 times more and better than what they were given by so-and-so. But you know what? If the other person doesn't know how to do or doesn't care to, I think it's time to stop living for what they think or say. And it's time to start living what you want to say. Why? Because if they were never there when you were married, now that you're not married, and now they pretend that they're there for them, but really not. It's just so other people can think, oh, what a great person this is. You can't control them, but you can control you and the memories that you can give your children. Follow that. I think it's important that you make it everything special for them. So I believe this episode is for every cycle breaker, every mother or father, every survivor. So I invite you to follow me on my podcasts. Share these episodes with someone else silently grieving. You could DM me a moment that you're proud of breaking in the cycle. Your story doesn't have to end with what was taken from you. You're writing a new one, and I'm here to remind you it's powerful. So I am excited to have you with me. And I believe we're going to make it. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode of Your Life Story with Sajine. I hope it gave you something to think about, feel, or explore on your journey. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Feel free to share it with someone who might need it or reach out to connect. And if you're looking for deeper insights, like I said, I will start having my stuff out there because I believe you're important. And I want us to make this a beautiful journey where we can start rising. Thank you so much.